Let's now shift gears and actually move to the auto space. Growth seems to be holding up well post the festive season. At least that's what the latest Vahan data is indicating. Let's try and understand this better. We have with us Saharsh Damani, CEO of FADA, and also Shailendra Luthra, Director of Brite Group. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. So we were just looking at the trends, right? And Vahan put out the latest data. This is 1 week after the festive season versus 1 week after the festive season last year. So calendar, the dates don't match, but it is like to like in that sense. And it seems, if I go with those numbers, that on the passenger vehicle side, the growth is 14%, and the two-wheeler side, the growth is 29%. So that's the real question, gentlemen. This burst of festive, GST cuts, all of that excitement, was that just a festive season phenomena? Or do you think demand is going to stay strong for the next couple of months ahead as well? Ms. Luthra?
Well, the market sentiment is quite positive. And at the dealer side, the dealers are seeing a surge in the demand. The customers are lining up. There's a good order book which is in hand. And as far as you quoted Vahan data, there is an upsurge in Vahan data also. These are the registrations post the festive seasons. So from my perspective, from the outlook that I see, I don't see the demand going down. There's a robust demand, and which will continue, and it will be sustained demand with the new affordability and thanks to the GST cuts.
Okay, let's actually bring in Mr. Damani and get the FADA view in as well. What are you hearing from dealerships, from the entire network? Is it as strong as what we saw around Diwali? Because the big fear in the market is that this will taper off. You know, it may not extend into the remainder of this year and next fiscal year.
Yeah, so good morning and thank you for having me on your show. But before diving into your question, I just wanted to acknowledge an important milestone, and it has now been 7 years since FADA began publishing the Vahan-based retail data. What started with a fair bit of skepticism has today become the industry's most trusted lens to assess real demand. Coming to your question, I think what we are hearing from all across the country right now is demand is robust. And it is not only a festival phenomenon, but this month, the month of November, we're seeing a lot of marriage days coming in. So that's keeping the demand healthy. Going forward in the month of December also, since it is the year end and the calendar year change, we will witness great schemes coming in from all the OEMs across the board. And that will again, once again, pull market in the green. So till December, demand is good. What we need to understand is there are customers available at the right price point. So we need to see that beginning the new calendar year, OEMs continue to attract the customers with excellent schemes, the way the schemes are running right now in the market. If those continue, demand will continue to remain robust till FY end.
So Saharsh, I know it's a bit of a tough question, but some sense, say if we talk about October, November, December, you know, this last quarter of the current calendar year, what is the growth that you would expect? And I'm talking about, you know, end level retail growth, those registration numbers, which that 1 week that was reported is looking very, very strong. But as we normalize O&D, how much growth for two-wheelers and how much growth for four-wheelers would you expect?
So if I give you an historic data, from April to October, we have seen two-wheelers growing at the rate of 12.5%, and passenger vehicles again growing at upwards of 5.5%. At the beginning of financial year, we had estimated that the passenger vehicle growth will be in low single digit. But because of the GST 2.0, which has come into picture and come into play, the run rate has gone up. And for this October, November, December quarter, I think the run rate will be above the average of 4.5%, what we had seen until September this month. So that's what we are looking at in the passenger vehicle segment. In the two-wheeler space, the growth should be in high single digit. That is what we are expecting.
Okay, but that's not saying much, right, Saharsh? You're saying that it should be above the 4% run rate. That it has to be, that we know with the demand thrust. Okay, let me ask you a broader question. You started the year saying on the passenger vehicle side, growth should be around, 4-odd%, right? Yeah. Now what are you expecting? Double-digit growth for passenger vehicles this year, fiscal year?
No, we don't expect double-digit growth, but we definitely expect growth to be above 5.5% mark, maybe somewhere around the 6% mark. So that is what we are expecting. And this growth has been upwards because at the beginning of FY, we had estimated around 2 to 3% growth. So if 5.5 to 6% growth comes, this will be double of what we had expected. So I think this will be a good number to close the year with.
And what about passenger vehicles? That's helpful. So what you're saying, from an expectation of 4% growth in passenger vehicles, you're now hoping the year will end with at least 6.5% growth. Similarly, for passenger vehicles, if you can you give us some sense?
So this was for passenger vehicles.
For two-wheelers, I beg your pardon. Two-wheelers, yeah.
Yeah. So for two-wheelers, we expect that 9 to 10% growth should be easily achievable by the end of FY.
Okay. All right. Hi, gentlemen. Good morning. Good to see you all in. Mr. Luthra, there's a bit of a split verdict with regard to the tweak in the emission norms based on the weight of a vehicle. What is your view on that?
Well, on the emission norms, the government is changing certain policies and certain decisions, but the manufacturers would be supporting that. The OEMs would be supporting that and ensuring that the customer sentiment doesn't get hampered with it. And on the society perspective point of view, we should be having some more stricter norms considering the environment we live in. But let me also tell this to you: India is a torchbearer as far as emission norms are concerned. We are way ahead many other countries of the developed world. And I'm sure both the consumers and the OEMs would be lapping it up easily. We have geared up to come to that level.
But this not change actually, it's this hike in the price of re-registering your vehicle, basically getting that fitness certificate again. That increase, do you expect it to spur demand a little more? And is that only at the entry-level segments? I'm guessing in the premium segments, these things don't really matter anyway. But Mr. Luthra, would you expect this to add to it?
You are talking about the re-registration of the vehicle after the end of life.
Yes. Those charges are going up, right?
Yes, that is going up. But after the end of life, there would be not a big percentage of people who would be going in for re-registration, because the overall aspiration and the demand to change is very high. And it is also possible that in the coming future, this is my appeal from your medium to the government, we might see some good incentives for scrapping of the cars and buying new cars for the recycling. So overall, I don't think it will have a significant impact that many people would be going in for re-registration. But yes, it would act as a deterrent for sure.
Just, gentlemen, one quick question. We haven't discussed EVs. Now, in this new era of lower GST, the whole ICE versus EV debate, Saharsh, if you could come in on this as well, because it seems the growth in EV sales is not as high as what the OEMs would have liked. What are you seeing on ground? What are the estimates between ICE and EV looking at the next couple of months?
Yeah, so just to give you a perspective, two-wheelers right now in the EV space, they have around 8 to 9% market share. And in the passenger vehicle market share, the EV contribution is around 5%. Barring the month of October, we have been seeing slow growth coming in both these categories. And the growth is largely coming because more established players are now coming into the market in the two-wheeler space, especially with the likes of Hero, Bajaj, and TVS. Also in the car segment, if you see, more and more products are getting lined up in the EV space and also in the alternative fuel space. So as customers get more choices, I'm sure these numbers will go up. But if I were to talk about, say, next 6 months to 9 months period, two-wheeler should see EV penetration of at least 15%. and electric vehicles in the passenger vehicle segment should see again 8 to 9% growth.
Okay, all right. So perhaps the EV penetration will pick up in the months ahead. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining in and giving us some perspective on how the auto sector is shaping up after a bumper festive season. So trends looking good, and FADA saying that for the passenger vehicle space for the year as a whole, they now think that growth should be in the vicinity of 6 to 6.5%.